help at all that you guys kind of went through this a few different times last year?
Yeah, with Trevor just being day-to-day limit. Yeah, I think just kind of the approach of how you get Trevor ready while also having somebody else ready, and we're day-to-day. So if something comes up Friday, Saturday, Sunday, so be it, we're ready to play. Our job, especially our job just in the offensive unit room as coaching staff, is just to put together the best possible plan to attack the defense. And then within that, what maximizes everybody's skill set available to us.
How big is it able to get CJ back into the building? Just, I can imagine it's hard sometimes to find a third quarterback that has as much experience as he's had with you.
Yeah, exactly. Especially in our system, experience in the league as a starter, experience in the league as a backup, which is a very different mindset for you. That's big. Comfort within the locker room, comfort within the coaching staff. There's a lot of those things that CJ is very valuable to us to be able to have in our room, back in our room.
So does Matt get all the first team reps this week, or do you mix Trevor in a little bit?
Just Trevor being day-to-day and limited throughout practice. We kind of mix and match wherever available of who's going to get whatever rep. It just kind of depends by period and what the medical recommendation is.
Trying
That's
to
it. Okay.
trying to get Brian Thomas the ball a little bit more this week.
Yeah, certainly, and that's something Philly did a good job at certain times and third downs and some of it 2 minute in the game, and that's something Vic Fangio's done forever. Cloud's your best receiver, the guy that provides the explosive element. So there was no surprise to that. The end of the game, you saw a bracket over him late. There were a couple third downs early. There was a Cloud to him. So as that happens, that doesn't mean we can't get the ball to him. There were opportunities there, even within the game, to give him some targets in there that we think, he's certainly an element that is very explosive for our offense, provides a lot of juice to us, so we need to get him opportunities to get touches.
You guys have played John McRenard, a lot since you guys have been here. What kind of year is he really having? It seems like he's always been a good player, but this year's kind of exploded.
Yeah, I think he's in addition to the whole thing they got going on in Minnesota. So now you have this elite pass rusher on one side that's playing the run really well, doing a lot of things. Coach Flores even talked about the other day. He's got the splash playability, but it's the down in, down out type of thing that he's doing that their defense as a whole really does. And then when it comes to third down and it's obvious pass situations throughout the course of the game, now you've got this guy over there that's a matchup possibility as well as all the throw of pressure.
Do you have to change up any of your calls since you got a guy on the other sideline that literally was here 2 weeks ago?
No, there's certain things that I think if you take a guy out, if they're not specific to this particular game plan, our game plan ebbs and flows each week. So if you haven't been sitting in there since Wednesday when the game plan was installed, you know exactly what we're going to call in certain situations. I don't know that there's too much you're going to be able to provide. Now there's maybe certain code words, things like that, but at the same time, that's the chess matchup goal. We're aware of that. We also go through our TV copies, things that are out there every single week. What are words that people would hear that mean certain things? And that's kind of your early on in a game. You know your certain tendencies. You know the things that are out there. You work to protect those. Work to protect our kills, our alerts, our code words that are out there. And all it takes is they thought something meant something and it was something else, and now nobody listens to that person anymore. And that's kind of the same with coaches going from team to team, things like that. So we're aware of certain things, but we're also confident in the plan we put forward.
I know we don't know the nature of the injury, you guys do, obviously, but Trevor was able to play through with a sprained AC joint last year. So what's how does the non-throwing shoulder, an injury to the non-throwing shoulder, other than like an impact thing, how does that, I guess, impact quarterbacks ability to throw a play, in any way?
I'd defer that to Fergie and Doug right there, and Trevor, and how Trevor feels and certain things like that.
Is there a fine line when you're trying to get BTJ involved? Is there a fine line between force feeding and game planning and making sure that he gets enough touches?
Yeah, I think so. And we've always kind of been where we'll put together certain concepts of pure progression, certain concepts or two-man routes where there's certainly a primary and then a check down option. And so there's kind of the mix and match of the perfect routine of that. Now, we're fortunate we have a lot of good skill players. So if BT is drawing coverage to a certain area, maybe we're running the ball, maybe we have the opportunity to get backside, but at the same time, he needs to impact the game for us. And sometimes that's just, his presence impacts the game for us, but there's also, he needs the football, he needs opportunities to get the football as well. So there's always kind of that fine line, like you mentioned, of just how much is too much, how much is force feeding, how much is restricting the play of the offense just to get a guy as many targets or touches as can be.
Thanks, Chris.
Thanks, guys.